Today, at Money Mambo, where we monetize and multiply, we are sitting down with a woman of valor. She is a chartered marketer, an international sales fellow. She is a passionate advocate for financial literacy, and at the same time, she is a spiritual growth crusader. The woman I'm talking about has made money, big monies for the big boys. And what we are going to learn from her, you realize if you are a lady who's looking for someone to look up to, a role model, you have hit a jackpot. And if you are a salesperson, a marketer, a business owner who wants to increase your sales, you have just won a lottery. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Money Mambo Show, where we are going to learn, laugh, and earn with the lady herself, Rachel Musiima Senyondo. Hi, Rachel. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. I'm very excited to be here.
It's good to see you again.
Good to see you too.
Now, I'm going to go into it straight away, but I want to first start maybe with the simple things, right? So I know that you are a chartered marketer and you're an international sales fellow. My question would be, what does it take to become one, and how does Rachel make a decision to take the sales and marketing path?
Wow, interesting question. Well, I would like to tell our viewers that it didn't just happen yesterday. I've worked hard for the past 15 years to become a chartered marketer as well as a fellow for the Institute of the Sales Professionals in the UK. And where did this decision start? Many years ago, when I joined the insurance industry, that's at UAP Old Mutual now, then that was UAP Insurance. My boss needed us to study insurance. And I realized that the technicalities of insurance were not exactly my piece of cake. But I loved the marketing arm, which is more focused on customer centricity and relationship building. So when you realize the insurance industry or the segment has so many functions, the underwriting arm, the operations arm, and then the marketing arm. So having discovered what I really wanted to do, I looked for a school that would be globally accredited, because my desire was not just to serve Ugandans, but the globe. So that's how I do my research and realize that there is a Chartered Institute of Marketing in the UK. So I started to study. But as I started to study, I realized that there are levels that someone needed to take to reach the highest. I just didn't want to be an associate or a member. I wanted to be globally recognized to the highest that would transition me to be a thought leader by knowledge as I started to practice as well. So over the last 15 years, I have studied marketing and sales because the two are cousins, right? Then I've also tried to do what we call CPD, which is continuous professional development. Attending events, attending trainings, giving back. And that's how, after I studied, I joined the Uganda Management Institute to lecture, and then also joined the Insurance Training College to lecture. So together, the knowledge and the practice and giving back transitioned me and positioned me for these accolades today. So that's simply my journey, but it just didn't happen overnight, ladies and gentlemen. It happened through the seasons, and that is over a decade. And that's where we stand today.
And I want to believe that you've actually made it. But maybe relatedly, what most people may not know, that you are a mother.
Yeah.
In addition to being a career woman, you have built a brand, but you're spiritual. And there's a lady there asking themselves, how do I start and how do I balance the three or the four? Because they feel like the pursuit is actually impossible. What would you tell them? What would you tell that lady?
Very good question. I'd like to say that most importantly, I'm a woman grounded in God. And speaking into Philippians 4:13, that I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Everything that I do is a God so thick. So that's the first step, having that spiritual intimacy with God. Then I get the strength to find the right support system. And I often tell people that the strength that we see in others or the strength that you see in me is not actually an individual collection. I'm not self-made. I stand tall on shoulders of giants. So you're able to see me professionally. You're able to see me in the spiritual arm. You're able to see me as a mother because why? One, I'm grounded in God. Two, I have sought the right relationships to support me. As I remember, I want to give a story. As I studied my marketing courses and my sales courses, my siblings were a little bit younger. So they were at university and I used to study over the weekend. So I would ask my siblings and my mother to keep my babies for me. And I would also ask my husband whether he would be present for the children, right? And I want to confirm to you, my children have not lacked the love. Wow. They are evidence of love, kindness, and passion. So to be all these things and present in all these spaces, you must have the right surrounding of people who believe in that which you want to become and cheer you on and actually tell you that it can be done as they fill the other gaps. And I also want to tell people something, that as you rise on one thing, there could be deficits on the other. As you pursue career or as you pursue education, there could be a deficit on family, but that deficit is closed by choosing the right relationships. And to tell people that my children don't address my siblings as auntie. My siblings are mommy. So they have like 5 mummies, right? And then also, if speaking in true career-wise, I had to make sure that my employers through the season understand that the course that I am taking is not only to my benefit, but to their benefit. Because the better I got at this skill, the better value I brought to table.
So relationships are important.
Very important.
To bring a balance when you're trying to get all these things together. Thanks. I think that is very powerful. Maybe now what I want to ask, having looked at the fact that you have a decade of experience in all these, and I know that you have driven growth when it comes to back assurance in why I think UAP Mutuals, right? You have contributed a lot when it comes to business development at CIC Insurance. But at the same time, the milestones that you are now achieving or registering at Prudential. And generally everything and in the field of marketing, sales, development, and personal growth in among professionals, you have really done a lot when it comes to stakeholder management and the engagements. My question would be, what is that career pivotal moment or decision that you feel like shaped you or shaped the woman you become?
Very interesting question. And I'll still go back to the story that I relayed when I decided to do marketing. My point of pivot was finding the niche to fill in the insurance market. So if you're looking for a professional to drive your revenue and profitability, it's got to be Rachel. So I realized that the insurance market has, like I said, operations, technicalities, claims, finance. So I asked myself, where is my passion? I realized it was in sales. And this hails from many years ago when I was at university. I discovered this as I did a reflection. Together with my peers, we come from very humble backgrounds. So we started to merchandise phones, jackets, lingerie. Would wake up in the morning and actually go to Owino markets to pick up those items. So it's that passion that grew over the season. Now it makes perfect sense when I came into the insurance industry that I discovered that this is the one thing I want to be known for. I want to be known for the revenue, and not only revenue, but the profitability. And that pushed me to the how. Now that I'd started transitioning through practice to get to that place, I said, how can I perfect this facet? Many times people want to be all things. You want to be the underwriter, you want to be the claims person, you want to be MD, you want to be operation, you want to be everything. But I relate that to football. You cannot be the striker, then the defender, then the midfielder, then the goalkeeper. So I realized that I can't be all those things in this market. So I picked out that facet, which is sales, and I started to anchor myself there. And I also got mentors and coaches. If I may, I would say that the lady that recruited me to join the insurance industry, I realized she was very powerful in that which I wanted to become. So slowly I built a relationship with her and she started to mentor me. So this success that you're seeing from UAP Old Mutual, I remember many years ago, were the first people to actually roll out bank assurance. I was privileged to be the pioneer of bank assurance at UAP Old Mutual, transitioning to CIC, the same thing, right? But it all started from finding that small facet and killing it up with knowledge and training. Like footballers, whether it's raining or shining, they go to the pitch to train.
Yeah.
So I started to train at this thing. What does it take to become a skillful sales person or marketer? Because the two are related, like I said. So over the years, I started to, transition. And slowly, as you train, you build muscle. So that muscle definitely translates into revenue, building high performance teams, and profitability. So there's no science to it. There are facts that if you put this cap here, this is what it's going to change to. So wrapping that up really nicely, you need to know exactly what you want. What's that niche? Don't be a jack of all trades and a master of none. While you can have versatile knowledge regarding all the other facets of the business operation, but being known when they are looking for that person who is skilled by experience, knowledge, and practice, right? In terms of business transition, of revenue. And listen, revenue is the bloodline of any business. So I realized that if I can just craft my skill here, then it would take me to where I want to go. So I'm happy to note that over the years, I've built high performance teams. I also realized that I can't play alone.
Yeah.
Type A recruits type A. Type B recruits type B. So as crafting my skill, my eyes were always wondering who else would be good for my becoming. So I started to pull them. So together, we're able to lead. I remember when I was at UAP, it was the leading insurance company then. Then when we joined CIC, it was just an infant in the market. But in a space of 2 years, we transitioned from number 30 to number 7. That's really powerful. Then moving into Prudential, we are the leading life insurance company in Uganda. And that's a facet of high performance teams, definitely. And also understanding your craft of trade. Yeah.
So what I'm getting, even when you're going to master different things, you should have a niche.
Yes.
And that reminds me, a coach of mine said, be like KFC. Be known for chicken, master chicken, it'll be easy for you to sell chips and fries. But talking about you building teams, that makes you a trainer, a coach, a mentor when it comes to sales and marketing. I want to ask you, according to you, what differentiates a good salesperson and a great one?
Well, I would also relate to, I often tell people that you don't have to reinvent the wheel.
Mm-hmm.
Good salespeople will often sell benefits. The great ones find an emotional connection with their customers, and that emotional connection is going to reveal to you what the customer needs are.
Mm.
Then that conversation will transition into what happens after. Benefits are great, but the emotional connection that the customer is going to disclose much positions you as a solution to what challenges or pitfalls they have in their business and in their lives.
So people do not buy what they expect. They don't buy the benefits. Maybe that's what they want, but that's not what makes them make a decision.
Correct.
What makes them make a decision, according to you, is when they feel like it.
Exactly.
So if you don't get to make your customer feel like buying, they won't buy, even when they see the benefits.
Yeah.
They would rather buy from someone else.
Yeah.
Amazing. So from also your talk, I've realized that you actually focus now on high net worth individuals, meaning you like money.
Yeah, I love money. I love wealth. It's what it is.
Because when you focus on such individuals, it means you're also getting higher when it comes to revenue. And you've already talked about revenue is the backbone of any business.
Yeah.
I would actually say backbone of any career. But that would make me want to ask you, what do you think, other than emotions and the feeling, is there something else you think is the single most important tip you can give to a salesperson?
Okay.
Especially if you are to get the most out of sales.
Okay. So this is why I studied sales and marketing. Marketing creates the awareness, it creates the visibility for you to close the sale. And marketing focuses on customer centricity. But you need to start with the end in mind.
So what is customer centricity?
Customer centricity is not looking at what you are offering, but what the customer actually needs.
Oh, so it's customer focus.
Yes, customer focus. And having the realization, I would relate with a customer experience authority, Swodgab. He says that customers expect reliability, they expect responsiveness, they expect relevance and convenience. Anybody who can speak into these facets is going to win that customer.
If you want a customer, focus on
reliability. Are you reliable? When they call your phone, are you picking up? If you're not picking up, do you return the call? Relevant. The world is evolving. What we offered yesterday may not exactly fit the solution, may not exactly be the solution. That relates us to the story of Nokia and Kodak. We all know that the market had moved on. The market is agile, but he who responds to the market changes with agility is going to win the customer.
And then
convenience. And when you look at what companies are doing lately, they are bringing convenience to our homes. I remember many years ago, our friends, the banks, would walk into the bank, thanks to my mother who would take me to the bank to bank my school fees, would make the queue. I remember then, it's now the current Cham Towers, the queue from inside to outside to the main road. And then they said, now we evolved to bank drafts. Because the queues, customers were tired of standing. But then they evolved to the auto teller machines. Now we said, no, we want to do these transactions in the comfort of our homes. Now they evolved to the banking systems right in the comfort of your home. You can pay your vendors. So it's that relevance, given the changes in the customer behavior and also the macro, the macro and the micro changes. Are you able to provide the convenience? We want a hybrid of, I can talk to you on phone, but I can also transact on my laptop, or, that's why we are making relationships with our friends, the telecoms, giving the customers solutions that you can either pay me by EFT, you can pay me by mobile money, you can give them solutions, as many as they want for their convenience. And as well, you can walk into my store to talk to me. So relevance, responsiveness, reliability, and convenience. Any successful salesperson, if you can speak into those four facets, given the products or service you're giving, you're going to make it.
Someone is going to say, I try my best. Maybe you're talking to business systems, but someone will say, I'm a marketer, I'm a salesperson. I try my best to be reliable, to be relevant, to be responsive, and to make sure to my customers, to my clients, to my leads, I'm convenient. I provide them conveniency. But my only problem is I am playing with I'm not going to use a particular one. The person wants to go into affluent markets so that they can get bigger revenue, bigger commissions. Question would be, how does that someone break through to the affluent markets? They are the right package.
Mm.
In being the right package, the question is, when I'm ready, then how do I reach the affluent markets? Because I don't have connections. How can someone break through?
I would want to relate this to what we call customer profiling. Many times you have not profiled who you want to talk to. So that makes you go in circles speaking to everybody and anybody. Any successful salesperson will tell you that they have profiled who their customer looks like to a point that they know their edge, they know where they eat, they know where they sleep, they know where they bank, they know where their children go to school. So there's a bit of market research that somebody needs to do. So you might say you do not have that qualified, connection. But the problem is not that you do not have the qualified connection. The problem is you have not profiled that customer very well. What is their buying persona?
Yeah.
When do they purchase? When do they go for holiday? So having an and where exact and how do they pay? So having an in-depth understanding of your customer profile is going to position you for a win. So when I know where they go to church, I will be present in that church. When I know they belong to an association, say for Uganda Marketers Society, Public Relations, UAA, the Advertising Association, the engineers, I've done my full understanding of my buying persona. And that's why often you see me at all these associations, because I've come to understand that these customers are backed up by community credibility. So it's not that you don't have, you have, but you have not fully understood where do they eat. Someone may think they're eating in the high-end hotels, and no, they could be in that kafunda. They could be fleet owners.
Or at the Marwa.
Or at the exactly, that's what I'm saying. That kafunda in Ntinda,
yes.
They could, because I know pensioners in this country, in Uganda, for those are living in the diaspora, there's a place in Uganda where pensioners got to meet and have a good time. You fully understand your customer buying persona. It is what drives you to tap into the affluent markets. So it's not like it's very difficult, but it starts with you writing down those pointers, and it's those pointers in the buying persona that will present you when those opportunities strike, and also belong to communities. If you realize you're an engineer, in this country, in Uganda, there's an association that brings engineers together. I realized the legal system as well has Uganda female lawyers, something, I also realized that that's very powerful. The law society, the marketers, it's your ability. Like John C. Maxwell says, the power of intentionality. You must put in work to win the affluent customer, because this customer is not even looking for what you're offering. They're looking for trust.
Eish, I think you're talking to me. Now that you've talked to me, I would want you to talk to my followers, to the persons watching this video. And the next segments are specifically dedicated to the people watching this show for monetization and multiplying. So I'd want to start by asking, okay, we look to a person who's looking for money. Now, a person who has money. Question 1, what role can or does insurance play in wealth multiplication?
Okay. I'd like to say to our viewers that when I was expecting my child 2 years ago, I had to look for a very credible gynecologist. When I needed to buy my car, I needed to go to a credible car bond. The starting place of understanding what role insurance plays is actually having a financial consultant to guide you. Because insurance has life and non-life, right? Life assurance and the non-life, which is general insurance. So when you're looking at wealth multiplication, insurance actually comes in a wealth preservation. Allow me give an example. Many years ago, I was driving through Molago roundabout, and this rubbish truck bashed my car. It was raining, and they sped off. I shook for a minute, but I drove straight to my insurer and said, look here, I was driving through the hustle and bustle of the rain, and this guy bashed me. I don't even know their number plate because I was in utter shock. So the preservation of my wealth and multiplication of what I had, I didn't have to go to my account to liquidate my assets because I had a motor comprehensive insurance. So my assets stayed running as they ought to run, but somebody who is the insurer then settled my claim to work on my car. Coming to speak to life, if you're to look at the life occurrences, education, critical illness, retirement, and so many more, right? You need to transfer the risk of occurrence, having you to liquidate your money to settle those risk occurrences to another person. So coming to speak into insurance, it's a provider of a safety net to your incomes. So how do you multiply your money? You've already invested in different asset classes, right? And then you have preserved
and protected.
And that's what many people go wrong. They make the money, they save the money, they invest the money, but the protection element wipes out all what they have worked for through the season. So it is through insurance that we get to protect our money, that it multiplies in the different facets that we've chosen to play in.
Can I invest in insurance? Like, can I take insurance as my main investment asset?
The answer is no. Insurance cannot be the only investment asset. And this is why insurance has different classes. There are so many risk occurrences around us. So I therefore recommend what I call a diversified portfolio. You know, I like to relate, like you said, I'm a spiritual person. I like to relate with the 7 streams of income. And I relate that to my investment behavior or insurance behavior. I would like to say that I can have a risk solution insurance that helps me in retirement. I can have another solution to help me with medical, my health. I can have multifaceted, but then also make sure you diversify your portfolio to other investment classes. Why? Because of the return. Insurance, being a protector, it only pays out what we call a bonus, not an interest, because the priority of insurance is protection. So speaking into investment, there are other diversified portfolio elements that are going to give me what we call a return on investment. So please, I would not encourage anybody to use a one solution for insurance as a protection, as an investment avenue.
You know, what is interesting is that Lady Rachel is a financial literacy advocate, but at the same time, she has been playing in the field of insurance. So when she talks, if you don't, I'll hear you, I'll listen. So I think the next day or the next time we come to talk, we shall talk about the other financial or investment assets someone can invest in before they actually protect, or how do they do it together? Protect funds is they invest, which ventures can we look at? But for now, I want to dig into your experience as the lead lecturer, digital marketing at the Insurance Training College. Digital marketing is these days the new leverage. My follower, my viewer wants to know if they want to build, and sustain a profitable personal brand, where do they start from?
Well, I'll still go back to what I said. Yes. When you're sick, you go to the hospital. So don't try to gamble this. They are people who are skilled and have studied digital marketing, and we call them digital aggregators. that are going to try to understand your objective going online, because you must know, why are you going online? Who do you want to tap into online? Who is your target market audience? What social media platforms are you going to do that? Because many people think, I have a camera, let me shoot, without having an objective. What is your aim of going online? So if you are a brand and you are not yet online, the very first thing is that understand your offering.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Understand your offering. What are you offering? Rachel, I'm a fellow of sales and a chartered marketer. I offer solutions to brands that want to be profitable, not only make revenue, but build profitable brands sustainably. That word is very important. So that's what I am offering. Then where is my digital customer? Many times people are all over the place, and yet their customer may be on one social media platform. And as you seek to do that, are you offering your solutions online? For example, your end-to-end customer journey. What does it look like? From a point when the customer discovers that you're online, can they purchase online? You've created an awareness. Can they get feedback online? Can they access you end-to-end, the customer journey online? The cumulative interaction of the customer, between the customer and your brand, is it digital? Do you have a hybrid? So it's a whole facet that before you get into digital marketing, you understand your offering, understand where your customer is, understand their expectation. Sometimes we are digital, the customer wants to pay you digitally.
And you're
not. The customer wants to process maybe a quotation interacting with you, and you're not there. So you're just speaking, and the engagement which transitions into a purchase is not there. So as you get to indulge yourself digitally, these are just brain, pointers here and there, but get a digital expert, and get somebody to manage your brand. They'll even let you know how those customers, when are they online?
Someone is going to say, you're sounding expensive. Come back on ground. I want to learn from you, but because I'm learning from you, I don't want to go through the journey you have. But I am 27, 26, 25. I want to start small. I may not even be able to pay for a digital aggregator or a digital strategist. What is the basic, or what are the basics I can do?
Okay, while I speak into the basics, I also want to reinforce that many a times if you desire something, then you'll go to the expert, because then I like to relate to what my current CEO told me in one of the meetings we had. He said, Rachel, you either listen to what I'm telling you or you go pay school fees. So you, starting what we are saying, you can start small by understanding your offering, understand where your customer is, and build your credibility online. Be visible. Tell your story. What's your story? What pushed you to become? Because it's the stories that we tell that customers feel they can relate. Then if the customers can relate to your story, then they're going to be interested in listening to what you're offering. But as you transition to do that, please do not gamble. Like when you have a toothache, you're not going to say, I will go and do a home remedy. No, I really encourage people to use the professionals, whether it's being present. The market presents so many opportunities for us. It could be associating with a community where this professional is, right? And in a small little chit chat, you're going to get professional help. When we speak professional help, some people are going to think, oh, go set up a meeting, go do this. There are pay $1,000. There are other ways of building relationships with professionals that we get that help without even breaking your back at it. Serve them, find them, and don't pay school fees.
For example, like you said, go to professional associations, but also there are clubs like Rotary.
Exactly.
Where people share freely.
Freely, Lions Club.
And then, so from what you've said, I've realized that there's a difference between online fame and online branding.
That's true.
So there are many people who are online, They're just famous.
Yeah.
And they can't turn their fame and turn it into revenue.
Yeah.
So which means you don't have a brand.
You don't have a brand. You don't have a brand. You're just showing us that you can travel the world. You can, I mean, there's no value to eat. I mean, you're taking a photo in the restaurant and you're just eating. What are you telling us? Is the food nice? Is that restaurant good? So it's through that value that you speak online. And I like to always say that visibility, true visibility and credibility will give you profitability. Visibility, credibility will give you profitability online. So you need to make sure that whatever you're doing online, you've set your objectives. And one of the objectives that make you a credible brand online is the money. You should be making that money online.
As we're drawing closer to our end, because we are going to our favorite segment of Value Vault, where we extract everything we can get from you in the shortest time possible. I want to ask, if someone is there, they could even be high net worth individuals, high net worth individuals, but at the same time, it could be someone who can, maybe middle class. They want to know if they want you to help them visibility, credibility to profitability. Do you have a program? Do you have recommendations of who can help them or a program they can take on?
Okay, now speaking into that, I have mentorship classes that happen, but that's on, you need to find what my calendar looks like. And it's no point of pride. It's because we've taken years to build these personal brands. We've been going to school. We've been approaching coaches and mentors. So I, from time to time, coach people individually because our needs are different, right? So they have a scheduled workbook that we follow for them to harness their digital brands so that they become strong personal brands, that they are offline, that even online, they are there. So you need a coach, you need a mentor. So for this and more, you feel free to follow that link down there, and then we can be able to have that kind of conversation. But this notwithstanding, there are so many coaches within our hood that are doing so well. You need to find them and be humble enough to sit at their feet to learn what you do not know. What makes me look thick is not ideally because I am so thick. It's because I am built by strong personal brands that I've realized the pitfalls in my personal brand, and I've sought help from those strong personal brand, and they craft me to be a very credible personal brand, both online and offline.
Can a professional, a salesperson or a marketer in this generation and era actually succeed and have an international reach without having a digital brand?
Well,
and if possible, how easy or how difficult is it?
I do not encourage anyone doing business not to be online. My recommendation, therefore, is that you need to be online in bold and italics. And this is why what digital presents is a global village. Right here in Kampala, I'm able to speak to someone in Canada and USA and Tunisia and even in other parts of Uganda within South Africa. I mean, the world becomes a global village when you get online. So with minimal or below the line costs of advertising, I'm able to have my reach. I'll give you an example. I'm privileged to also speak at global platforms online. I don't have to pay the air tickets, hotel tickets, but yet I'm able to increase my reach. So what I personally do, I have a hybrid of my digital presence, which is my online presence, and my offline presence. And that's why you see me at physical association events or industry events or thought leader conversations. I'm always there physically. That, you see, digital cannot or artificial intelligence or the evolution of technologies cannot replace like human interaction. So when people see me often, they say, I've seen you on Instagram, I've seen you on LinkedIn. What does this present? Digital presents massive opportunities that you have to leverage on to pivot your brand to the next level. So have a hybrid of offline and online brand interaction.
Talking about the fact that digital is a way you can leverage. It brings in leverage in business, in sales and marketing. Yeah. And I want to ask you is if you have an experience or an example where you multiply your results without multiplying your efforts.
Well, this is a very interesting question because I do this all the time. Being grounded in my spirituality, I'm a servant leader. So often I serve. You'll find me serving at people's communities without necessarily a pay. 80% of my work is unpaid. So people, every time you've seen me there, I am serving.
Wow.
So it's through serving the purpose of other men that your purpose too is served. So with serving comes credible endorsements. That's why you see doctors, lawyers, teachers, engineers will go and like my post, will go and comment on my post, because as I'm serving, I'm opening up my credibility to kings. But many times, people want to go there and sit. So without the monetary efforts, I'm able to get every resource and more. I'm able to get the endorsements, even for my teams, the teams that I've led. If you did a market survey, I'm privileged to be, for almost every brand I've served, I've been the best salesperson, and this is why I serve. I'm there to serve. What do you need? How do you need it? Do you need me to do this? So when my season of harvest is come, you realize that I don't struggle. And just a tip for those digitally and are facing challenges, 1 like, 2 likes, it's because you're not serving. Whose post are you liking? Whose post are you making comment to? You're struggling with followers. Who are you following? Who are you seeking out to say? And I often pitch my service to the people I am interested in. My associates, professional associates, I've now mastered the art of, just like friendship, there's what we call professional friendship. I have scouted the brands that I feel are in sync with my values, and I have expressed interest in serving these brands. And in serving these strong personal brands, I get credibility for whoever is in my target customer segment.
Wow. So whoever wants to be greatest amongst you, serve. Yes, thou man diligent, you will not stand or sit before mean men, but before noble and kingsmen. But what for me has struck the nerve is the fact that even online, just commenting, sharing someone's post, you are serving another person, and indirectly or psychologically, they also want to support back. When you share, they would want to share. When you comment, they would want to interact. Amazing. That was very powerful. I think I would want to end with telling our viewers that we have come to our favorite segment, the Value Vault. 10 minutes of quick questions where we extract all the gems she has collected over the decades she has been on Earth. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Ready. So feel free. You have 1 minute per question.
All righty.
Give us the best you can give us.
All right.
So question number 1. What is your biggest lesson so far? What is your biggest life lesson so far?
My biggest life lesson so far is that when I'm challenged with anything, I must turn my heart and head to the Creator, because whatever I become, it matters of the heart.
Amazing. Second, what habit changed your life most?
Showing up. Show up, whether you feel like it, don't feel like it. There are moments I don't want to show up to work. There are moments I don't want to talk to people, but I will show up. Show up.
Third, what skill should every professional, sales, marketing, any other, must have?
Build relationships and serve them.
Amazing. Fourth, what is your biggest money lesson?
Wow. Do not invest in Ponzi schemes. Make sure whatever you're putting your money into is a regulated market.
I think what I should also add, do not assume something's a Ponzi scheme before you actually research. You might miss out on a good venture.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 5, what is the smartest investment you've ever made? What is the smartest investment you've ever made?
The smartest investment I've ever made. One, my relationship with God, intimacy, turns me into anything and everything. And the other is my relationships. Let me tell you, I have 3 values: God, relationships, and wealth.
Amazing. Number 6, what 3 books you recommend most or gift? 3 books you recommend most or gift?
Good to Great is a must-have. 10X Rule is a must-have. And the last one is 7 Habits of Highly Effective People.
Amazing. If you had 3 people to take a chance on, if you had 3 people to choose and dine with, dead or living, who would those be?
My father passed 29 years ago. I'd like to just have a moment to see him, how great, to see how I want to see his smile and his face as he sees the woman that he's made me. To my mother, she's given up everything, and everything. I'll take a minute to just dine with my mother. Last but not least, don't get me wrong, my children. They are patient with me in my becoming. And even when I'm going to do something, I tell my children, can you just give me 2 weeks to do this? And they are patient and kind with me.
One quote or philosophy you live by?
A journey of 1,000 miles starts with 1 step. Just make that step. You will become.
Today, now, as soon as the watch is. Okay, the last question. This one, you can take 2 minutes. What 7 ways have you made, earned, or multiplied money?
7 ways. Now, get your pen and book, because this one is going to be the cherry on top. 1, finding a credible employer that pays me well. Thank you, Prudential, for really paying me well and making me look good. Number 2, leverage on your skill. I realized that being chartered and a fellow of the sales professionals, I'm a born teacher. So I teach. Number 3, find a skill, find a passion. I love the camera. I love the mic. I'm a child born of the mic. Go speak, I speak. And sometimes they forgive me nights, they give me flights, they give me. 4, coach. Find people that you can coach to multiply yourself. I'm a woman not afraid of greatness. Greatness, if I can get people greater than me, that makes me really look thick and attract more people to want to work with me. 5, you still want credibility spiritually. I'm always standing at altars and pulpits. And guess what? When God works for men, they come back with honor. We are on what? 6 and 7. What more do you want? First try the 5 and let me know how it goes. So for this and more, I will need you to plug into this podcast that you can get more insights on how you can really multiply that wealth and money.
Amazing. It's been nice having you, Lady Rachel. Like I said, she is a powerhouse herself when it comes to the marketing, sales, insurance industry, but also I would say she's actually a powerhouse in Uganda. I was telling her off the camera that I feel like she's still playing Uganda, East Africa, but with what she has in her portfolio, she should be able to sell the White House. It has been nice having you, and I hope if you like and find value, you share, you comment, you subscribe. And if you want to reach Rachel, just put it in the comments and we shall give you guidelines on how to reach Rachel. That has been amazing. And that was Money Mambo, how we monetize and multiply. Remember, I beseech you to always abide in faith, in hope, in love. Never forget, love always transcends. See you in the next episode.